One of the questions that I get asked most, especially from individuals who may be newer to our planner community or who may be in a little bit of a rut when it comes to their planning, is how do you pick the right planner? Maybe they're nervous about a new layout, or they just are a little overwhelmed with all of the different options. And y'all, I love this question, because when you buy a planner, you're making an investment in yourself. And no matter what your budget is, you probably plan to spend a lot of time and energy in that planner. And I find that the best way to answer how to pick the right planner layout is to understand how planners differ from one another. Hey y'all, my name is Lauren here with Plan with Laur. I am your best friend and your go-to gal when it comes to all things planning, productivity, and how to use the resources that you have to plan today for a better tomorrow. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about different ways that you can plan in a vertical planner. So if you are new to planning, need some ideas for your vertical planning, or just interested to see how the heck do people actually plan in a vertical, then this video is going to be for you. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts when it comes to vertical planning, some tips and tricks to try out, and some ideas and inspiration, and give you a little bit of a planner pep talk along the way, because that is what I do as your planner best friend. It comes down to it, the layout is the literal framework of your planner. And your planner layout is going to influence how you plan out your month and your weeks and your days. So choosing that planner layout, I understand, is so important. Now, caveat here, I don't think that there's a perfect planner. I don't think that one layout works better than another layout. I want to make that very clear. And over the next month, I'm going to be showing you how you can plan in different types of layouts. We're going to cover vertical today, but later on this month, we're going to cover daily, hourly, and even horizontal. So before we jump in today's video, let me know in the comments down below, are you a vertical planner? If you are, how do you go ahead and set out your days? And if you're not a vertical planner, let me know what type of planner layout is your favorite. To make sure we're all on the same page, the vertical layout is a weekly planner layout option where each day of the week is oriented vertically, top to bottom, and arrayed from left to right across a 2-page spread. It's an option that is usually found in weekly planners. Now, I'm going to say usually because there's not one size fit all when it comes to planners. But more often than not, you'll see 7 days displayed sequentially from left to right, starting on Monday and ending with Sunday. Okay, story time, because this is what we're doing. So, Joe Michael and I were out to dinner with some friends recently, and we were ordering a bottle of wine for the table. And the waiter comes up and he says, do you want a bottle of wine that's clean and conventional, or do you want a bottle of wine that's a little funky? And we were all laughing because we said that in most relationships, there's usually someone who's a little clean and conventional and then someone who's a little bit funky. And I think that's kind of the perfect metaphor to talk about the vertical planners, because the vertical planner usually appeals to someone who is a little clean and conventional in the sense that they want structure from their week, but they're a little funky because they want the freedom and the ability to do whatever they want and not be constrained by time, and to be able to do whatever they want. People say that if you like your day organized by tasks, that usually you lean towards horizontal, whereas if you like your day organized by time, then you usually lean a little bit more towards vertical. I don't believe that these are hard and fast rules, because I do believe that every layout has its pros or cons, but seriously, I think the slightly clean and conventional, slightly funky is the best way to be able to describe a vertical layout. So let's take the Erin Condren vertical weekly layout, for example. The only guidance that you're quote unquote given, aside from the dates in the top and the line sections and the left and right margins, are the 3 larger boxes stacked vertically for each day, with a small line section at the bottom. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to get used to a vertical layout. Seriously, how much flexibility that you are given to create your own planning system, or to even switch it up from day to day. Now, here are some different ideas that you can consider for a vertical layout. The most common iteration I see is to break your day in each box by morning, afternoon, and evening. Within each box, you might list all of your obligations, your appointments, within each of those time buckets. For me, as a corporate employee working 9 to 5, this setup meant that my top two boxes would be work focused, and then my third box would be for personal or Plan with Laur tasks. Now, this isn't enough room for me typically, but if you have a lot of work meetings or to do, then this system could be perfect. Another option is to break each of the boxes into 3 sections, like home, work, and personal. When I was planning in a vertical planner, I sometimes do this setup when I had a day that was light on appointments and meetings, but heavy on tasks and to-dos. The split up was great for weekends, for example. If you have people in your household who you are also planning for, you are also tracking their schedules, you can go ahead and allocate a box to each person to keep track of their schedules and their top priorities. If you are someone who maybe is working on very specific areas of your life, you could also go ahead and list out for each of those boxes what those areas of your life are that you're working in, and write in daily to-dos or goals for those specific days.
Now, Michael has been using the academic planner, especially for work, but has been trying out the vertical layout for the next year.
And he breaks his 3 boxes into a top 3 priorities for the day. The second box is for non-negotiable appointments and meetings, and then the third box is for his other important tasks for the day. When I was specifically using a vertical layout, I did something quite similar. I used top 3 priorities were my first box. My second box was my schedule, and then my third box specifically related to things that I wanted to do with Plan with Laur, by using the bottom as well for gratitude, and then the margin over in the left hand side for weekly to-dos and goals as well. The point that I'm trying to make here is that the vertical planner literally has so many different things that you can do with it. It's extremely flexible, and once you find a planning system or style that works for you with the vertical planner, you'll come to appreciate that the vertical planner doesn't necessarily shoehorn you into one very specific type of planning. Now, a lot of those options that I talked about were pretty functional options in your planning, and I tend to lean towards those because I am a pretty functional planner. But if you are a decorative planner, and this is something that you're interested in regards to a decorative aspect, there's a lot of options for decorative as well. If you prefer decorative planning with stickers and washi, the vertical planner is almost like a blank canvas compared to the hourly or to the horizontal layout. And don't quote me on this, and based on my not so expert research, I feel like vertical planners are pretty popular among the planner community. So you really shouldn't have trouble finding stickers or finding decorative elements to complement the vertical planner of your choice. I personally have used a vertical planner for memory keeping, something that I was doing when I was using the Moxie Life system, and there are definitely ways to be able to incorporate pictures and different decorative elements into that. Now, one thing that I will say that might be a con of the vertical layout, especially if maybe you're a little bit newer to the planner community, is that the vertical layout can be super overwhelming. Like I said, it's pretty much a blank slate. I mean, all planning is a blank slate from week to week, but because there isn't a kind of defined structure or a defined way, it can be overwhelming thinking about all the different possibilities that you can do. I've had conversations before of people who have vertical layouts who get so overwhelmed by the idea of planning that they can't even put their plans in their planner because they're watching all of these people make videos about all these things you should be doing in a vertical layout, and they aren't doing those. So it can be overwhelming. You can also, I know people who use a vertical layout, literally they just make massive to-do lists on a day-to-day basis. Overall, the vertical planner is a fan favorite when it comes to the planner community. It can be a little bit overwhelming at first to have such little structure, but I do believe that the flexibility does maybe help prevent a little boredom and maybe even a little bit of burnout when it comes to your planning. And as you guys know, you can always switch up your current style of planning depending on the season of life that you are in. All right, y'all, now that is all that I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comments down below, is there an idea that maybe sparked a little bit while you were watching those vertical plans? Or let me know how you use your vertical planner. Stay tuned for next week. I'm going to be deep diving a little bit more into the horizontal layout, giving you some pros and cons about it, some tips and tricks and different ways that you can go ahead and plan in a horizontal planner. If you are new here, I hope that you will decide to stick around by hitting that red subscribe button. I talk about all things planning, productivity, and how to use the resources that you have to plan today for a better tomorrow. I upload new videos every Monday and Thursday. Check the link in the description down below for anything that I mentioned here in this video. And as always, y'all, my name is Lauren here with Plan with Laur, and I'll see y'all next time.